This video is here to help guide you to peak controller performance. We all have our own unique styles of play, so we're here to help customize your settings to give you the utmost advantage in Modern Warfare 3. Use this video to help fine-tune, adjust, and maximize your gameplay through the setting options for controller in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for everything Modern Warfare 3. We will be your #1 team for Modern Warfare 3 content this year. Let us know if you're in need of some double XP, some fun content, maybe a copy of the game, or even if you're looking to possibly join Carnage as a creator. Head on over to our Twitter and follow us over there to become part of the conversation. Drop a like if you're excited for Modern Warfare 3 this year like I am. I mean, I literally filled my entire apartment with red balloons in celebration. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so here we are in the Modern Warfare 3 settings. We're going to go ahead and go through these one by one in detail, explaining what you should be changing, what you shouldn't be, especially what the things that might be kind of going over people's heads that you should be focusing on, and you'd be surprised. There's some settings in here that can really make a difference. I was just playing with some Carnage members, and I was actually mentioning some of these changes, and they were like, wait, where's that setting? You gotta show me, I gotta make that change. So, we're gonna look at those specifically. I think this could make a big difference for a lot of people. Go ahead and hop right into it. So, first up, obviously, controller for the setting up here. The edit button layout is for a custom controller. If you want to make adjustments to it, you can actually completely change the mapping of your controller entirely, but for now, we're just gonna leave that as is, and that's what I would recommend. Bumper ping, I would leave alone. This option's a quick fix for flipping the L1, L2, and R1, R2 options. This I leave as off. I don't personally like that, but some people might. Now, for stick layout preset, I use default personally, but I know for a lot of people, this is not recommended. This is completely personal preference. I know there's a ton of different options in here that people will switch to, but personally, I just use default. Controller vibration's actually something you want to turn off. If you have vibration in your controller, as weird as it sounds, it can actually affect your aiming slightly. Like the very small difference in the keeping your crosshairs on that enemy can actually be affected by the vibration. I didn't believe it, and for the first time at the beginning of Black Ops 4, I turned it off, and it made a huge difference. I never went back, so I'd recommend turning vibration off. I would just keep this on full haptics. Okay, so for Deadzone inputs, this is extremely important, so listen carefully. Deadzone inputs are basically for those that are struggling with stick drift. If you've noticed that if you're sitting here with your controller completely idle, you're not touching it whatsoever, and your aim starts to just randomly start slowly drifting upwards, or sometimes with the left stick, you start moving forward even without even touching your controller. That is stick drift, and if you're experiencing that, you want to make adjustments to fix your controller because that can affect you and make you literally lose gunfights. Now, one of the cool things in Modern Warfare 3 that's completely new from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019 is this, where you can actually test to see stick Deadzone stick drift, and obviously, right now, I'm not experiencing any, but if I were and I was like to start moving these, you can see that like this would, if you had stick drift, this would be like constantly jittering and like moving around without you touching it. But obviously my controller is completely fine, but you can just turn this on and you can immediately see if you're experiencing stick drift because you might not have even noticed. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to go in and you're going to make adjustments. So you're going to turn that off. You're going to go down to the left stick min, and you want to keep this around 10. Now, obviously, this is going to be different for every single person that's playing, but I like to make adjustments to my controller sticks anyhow, because you don't necessarily want the full range of motion, and if you're able to tighten that where you can, your movement is maxing out with less movement needed for the actual stick, then that's going to be able to allow you for precise aim a lot quicker and a lot more effectively and a lot more snappier. So I would change this to 10, and then for the max, I would put that to 90. So you're shaving off like 10 on both sides, making it a little bit more tighter. You can see the black area, the red area is what you're shaving off. And then you're going to do the same for the right stick as well. And then you can also do the same for trigger, which is super cool. I thought this was an awesome feature that Sledgehammer added into Modern Warfare 3 here. And that's how sensitive you want your triggers to be. So basically for the left trigger, I turned both down, well, actually left and right to about 9. You can like see if you turn this all the way up, you're gonna have to press your trigger in a lot more until it's actually going to register, and obviously that would not be good. You want it to be very snappy and responsive, especially when you're shooting your weapons. So I would recommend turning those down because it's gonna be a lot more responsive and quicker, so you can start firing your weapon towards the enemy as fast as humanly possible. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to aiming now. Now, for your sensitivity, this is something that obviously every single person is gonna have a personal preference for. What I will say is that as I move along in a Call of Duty game, once I start getting used to a Call of Duty game, I'm gonna slowly progress and make that more catered to my playstyle. So I originally started about 24 hours ago at 7 or 6 actually, and slowly moved my way up to 8, and now I'm comfortable with 8, and I think that's where I'm probably going to stay. I'm probably not going to move it too much more. Now, ADS sensitivity multiplier is something I am very passionate about, and it's something that a lot of people and a lot of guide videos that you're going to be watching are going to breeze over, and I'm telling you, this is so essential. Now, think about this. When you're aiming down sight, you want to have a little bit more precise aim, because when you're aiming down your sight, that's when you're firing your weapon. So if your ADS is like a lot harder to control, then it's going to be more difficult to target your enemy. Simply by adjusting this. This is a great feature, and I'm so glad the more recent Call of Duty games started adding this. You want to adjust this so that when you're ADSing, it's a little bit slower. Obviously, you don't want to adjust it too much and make it too slow, because then it's going to be difficult to track your enemy, or if they're up close, you're not going to be able to, like, you know, move more to fire at the enemy. So you want to find a sweet spot, and the sweet spot that I've been bouncing around in between is always 0.75 to 0.85. Anywhere between there is what I've found to be effective. I'm still playing around with it a little bit, but 0.77 seems to be doing the trick. I might bump it up a little bit again, to be honest. But it's something that will be a game changer. I literally promise. Make sure you're messing around with your ADS sensitivity. Now, for aim response curve type, this is super important. It's set on standard as default, which is okay. You can leave it on standard, but all the pros and a lot of research has been done on the aim response curve type, because when it first came out, people were very confused about it, and the pros use dynamic. So I would try out dynamic. Now, if this starts to not feel good for you, go back to standard. I'm actually in the process of probably going back to standard. That's for me personally. All my friends that are extremely good at the game use dynamic, but for me, I think standard might be the better option. Linear is just not it, so don't use linear. We're gonna leave this at 1. This is gonna be at instant. Custom sensitivity per zoom. I turn this off. I don't think it's super important, but it's if you want different sensitivity on different, like, magnified scopes and whatnot. Now, for target aim assist, obviously make sure this is on. That's going to be very bad. If it's not, make sure that's on. And for aim assist type, this is another big thing for you. It's going to be on default originally. Default's fine. You can try that if that's working out for you. Perfect. However, Black Ops has always been the best for me. I use Black Ops in Modern Warfare 2 and in Modern Warfare 2019, I believe, as well. It feels more like exactly what it says, Black Ops themed, Black Ops styled aim assist, which I personally like that feel a lot better. I think it's better in my opinion. So I would try that out. Precision and focusing, not really great. There's going to be weird situations that you'll get in where you'll lose aim assist and whatnot in these modes, and I just don't personally recommend those, and many people wouldn't either. Now, moving on to gameplay, the first one is actually really important. For automatic sprint, you want to either have this as off or automatic tactical sprint. I originally had it as off, but then I went back to automatic tactical sprint because I was tired of mashing down on my left analog stick. It's going to be a lot easier on your controller if you turn this to automatic tactical sprint. The thing is, you're gonna have more precise movement if you turn it off, because when the other one is, when you push forward on the left analog, you're immediately gonna go into tac sprint, where when it's off, you have to press down, so you can, like, make smaller movements when you're behind cover when it's off. So that's something I would recommend considering. It's a very preference-based thing. There's not a right answer for this, but off or automatic tactical sprint is what you're gonna want to use. Auto move forward, definitely turn that off. That's only really good in, like, maybe Warzone, but definitely not for multiplayer. We're gonna keep this on double tap. Grounded mantle, we're gonna keep as on. Automatic airborne mantle, we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna turn this off as well. Now, for slide and dive behavior, this is a big one. So if you want to be able to slide cancel faster, you're actually gonna want to turn this to slide only. That's only if you slide cancel. If you don't, keep it as default, which is tap to slide. This is actually a new feature that they added even from the beta, and it's actually a way to allow you to have a faster, it's actually a way to slide cancel faster, to remove that delay at the end. If you don't put this to slide only, there's gonna be a slight delay. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. Try that out and play around with it. But the thing is, you won't be able to dive then. Honestly, it's not the biggest deal, but I will admit that there are some times I wouldn't believe this before I started playing Modern Warfare 3, that diving's actually saved me in situations and has been a useful feature. So I don't know. It really is up to you. But slide canceling, if that's super important to you, you want to put slide only. Plunging underwater, we're going to put that on trigger. We're going to keep this off. We're going to put sprinting door bash on. You don't want to be able to not run into doors. Otherwise, every single time you go up to a door, you're going to have to press square or to interact with it to open it. It's going to be a nightmare. We're going to put this on mantle only. And slide cancel sprint, we're going to put that on. Now, aim down sight behavior, we're going to put that on hold. And change zoom activation, we're going to leave that as what it's typical. Equipment behavior is hold. Weapon mount activation is ADS plus melee. Now, here's another big one. The weapon mount exit delay. This is something that I see a lot of people not talk about either. I put it on short because when you're removing yourself from that mantle, there's this weird, like, where you detach yourself, and it's like this little, like, boom, boom. It's like this little bump when you're taking yourself off the mantle if you leave it on medium or I think whatever it is. I put it on short because if you put it on instant, it's a little bit too quick. It almost, like, kind of messes up when you're actually trying to mount something. But if you put it on short, it's just right. It's not too long getting yourself off that mount, and it makes a big difference. It saved me in gunfights, and I'm surprised more people don't talk about that. Now, interact reload behavior, we're going to put this on tap to reload. A lot of people forget to do that. This is for Warzone, but make sure armor plate behaviors apply all. That's so that you put on all plates when you interact with that, and you're not just putting one at a time. I think that's on by default. Depleted ammo switch, we're going to turn that on so that when your weapon depletes fully, you immediately switch to your pistol. So if that happens mid-gunfight, you're not getting yourself any sticky situation. So there you have it. Those are the best controller settings in Modern Warfare 3. I guarantee if you make these adjustments and you focus on the things that we highlighted, you're going to see a big difference in your gameplay. This is something that I was talking to, again, like I said at the intro, with other Carnage members. They made some of these adjustments and they were like, okay, that made a big difference. So make sure to follow this guide properly. I hope you guys are enjoying Modern Warfare 3 so far. Make sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy. It would help us out a lot. We're going to be your #1 source for Call of Duty content here as a team in Modern Warfare 3. We're super excited. Can't wait for the team challenges. It's going to be super fun. I think the content, you guys are going to love it. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Take it easy. Enjoy Modern Warfare 3 grinding, and we'll see you guys in the next video.